The second of the Summer Series meetings comes up at Sha Tin Saturday this week, but there's 11 races, so plenty coming up, and we're going to preview it for you all right here on Racing to Win. Good meeting. The Griffins get us underway, and there's a very high-quality Class 2 race on the program. Also joined in the studio to check it all out by Paul Lully and Tom Wood. And Tom, what are some of the standout highlights?
Yeah, well, race number 8 has to be one of them, Mark. That, of course, is the Class 2. And you've got Raging Blizzard first up for 108 days, taking on the likes of Bottom Up Together. Wunderbar is second up. Down towards the bottom of the order is Call Me Glorious, a last start winner. And Tropical Cyclone Wu Tip around at the moment as well, so could get some rain.
We might get some rain throughout the program, but it won't stop the races going ahead, Paul, that is for sure. Can you warm us up with some jackpots? Keep us dry with some jackpots.
Yeah, there's some good ones there as well. 3.8 million going into the triple trio. That should get over the 8 million mark. And get up to the lucky last. We've got 1 million going into the quartet first 4 merge pool. So that's always a good bet type, and it's always a good betting race. Normally the best betting race of the day.
It sure is. Now, the meeting details, there are a couple of races taking place on the all-weather for meeting number 80. 9 of them will be on the turf, and the rail in the C+3 position for those 9 turf races. There are 11, but it's still a 4 o'clock start time. We go right through until 9:15 local, and the race that we'll focus on later in the show is race number 8, the Class 2 over 1,200 metres. Big day of news on Wednesday in Hong Kong. James Cummings announced to join the trainer ranks, not next season, but the one after. He was still in Hong Kong for the announcement on Wednesday and spoke to Nick.
Yeah, it is. It's terribly exciting, and what we're really grateful for is to have plenty of time to get ourselves set and organised for the commencement of the season next year. And yeah, we've certainly enjoyed the hospitality already of Hong Kong, and my young family's really looking forward to the adventure of coming here and the challenges ahead of us.
James, many Hong Kong racing fans and racing fans around the world will be obviously very familiar with, one, your name and your lineage, and also you as a trainer in your own right successfully. Just going back over all of that, obviously you finish up with Godolphin very shortly, but you've had a wonderful time there and trained some wonderful horses. Yeah,
we've had an amazing run over 8 years. You know, Godolphin's been an amazing partner, and I've thoroughly enjoyed being given the honour to lead what has been an amazing team there. I leave behind some great people, a great team of people who, for some of them, it's the entirety of that time that I've been together with them, and even prior to that, in my own right as a private trainer, and as a public trainer, I should say, and some who have come on board throughout the journey, but who I've become very close with, and I've relied on, and I wish them all really well in their futures, and I appreciate them being so supportive. But we're really looking forward to the challenge ahead. Taking this opportunity as a real now or never opportunity, and we're looking forward to coming over. You know, I was 10 years old when my grandfather's horse Catalan Opening came here to win in 1998, and it's something I've always imagined I would be thrilled to do, is to train internationally and to bring a horse somewhere like here internationally, and so to set up here as one of the trainers in a very competitive environment is something that I'll take on with the utmost respect and the privilege that I feel it's really bestowed upon me.
Yeah, it's interesting to say, obviously, that sort of now or never moment, I guess, and I mean, obviously we can see the facilities behind us here at Sha Tin. We've now got Chung Fa, of course, set up as well. What have you made of all of that? I mean, it's world class, isn't it? I mean, something you're very used to, I'm sure.
Yeah, and yet the investment in the facilities and the respect for the horses that get put at the forefront, I think, is so important, and I've really been drawn to that philosophy that the Jockey Club has really been putting on, and I feel like in my visits here that's been a really crucial part of our decision. And we look forward to making the most of the facilities here and seeing the horses that we're going to be lucky enough to have in our hands, being able to enjoy those facilities, and enjoy training them, and using Chung Fa, using some of those facilities a bit the way I already have in my experience, having satellite stables in Sydney and Melbourne, and a rural training base at Osborne Park, an hour outside of Sydney. That's given me a little bit of experience to grow used to that before taking on this challenge here.
And given that you have that bit of time now, James, before you do set up here, I guess in some respects that's a massive positive and a plus, because there is so much to sort out and deal with. How will you use that time before you do start here?
Well, I hope to use it wisely. I hope to travel, to see new things, to talk with and lean on those who have experienced some of this before, and the different ways of doing things that are naturally true around the world. You know, the experience of seeing how some American trainers train on dirt and differentiate between dirt and turf horses is interesting to me. Seeing how horses are trained in Ireland and the European imports that that might be coming from places like there, and you know, travelling around other parts just to get a feel for how things are done, and you know, to be keeping an eye on how things are being done here, because one thing I take great interest in is how the conditioners here are preparing their horses, and everything is laid out, you know, so clearly that you know, one can keep an eye on how horses are being brought along, and it's an intriguing study, and something that I'm going to get more and more used to, and therefore use my time wisely to do so.
Let's talk about the trainers now, Tom. We'll start with James. Such a massive thing. 37 to come to Hong Kong, and starting from scratch. He's got that huge Godolphin operation behind him, which was changing, but now he goes from a full stable to starting with nothing.
Yeah, and that's basically what you start with. You're given a barn, you get allocated some staff, an AT, and so you've got to build it up from there by making connections with owners here in Hong Kong, getting, for want of a better term, second-hand horses from other trainers, and they've got probably some quirks and some issues that some of them probably need ironing out. So it's not going to be easy to start for him, but you look at who've started in the last couple of seasons, Jamie Richards, Mark Newnham, who's up in the top sort of 6 or 7 in terms of the Trainers' Championship, and David Eustace this season, who's had 31 winners. So shows what can be done with hard work and patience and getting the right sort of horses, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. And look, one thing about him is he's got lots of time. You know, he's got that extra season. So he by the time he's actually gets his horses up and running, he'll be well versed with the place.
This is what he's done, Paul, prior to arriving. Half century of Group 1s.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? And the Blue Army down there in Australia, winning all those races. He's trained some pretty good ones down there as well. Plenty of Group 2s and Group 3s in behind as well.
Indeed, of course, probably one of the flag bearers, certainly Animo, with what he did for Godolphin. I think the youngest trainer in Australian history to reach 50 Group 1 wins at that period of his life.
I think you might be right about that too. And speaking of youngest, Tom, there's been that focus on youth trainers. You mentioned David Eustace, Jamie Richards, and now James Cummings, all young men compared to what you think of normally when you think of horse trainers.
Yeah,
respect to them.
a real refresh of the trainers' ranks here, because obviously some trainers are getting towards that retirement age. Obviously it comes down to their circumstances and horse they've got with the retirement age and whatnot, but and the jockey club's discretion. But you can see here at the top, John Size leading the way still, David Hayes, Ricky Yu approaching 50, so he's not actually too far away at all, is Ricky Yu. Casper Founds had a good last sort of 6 or 8 weeks, Francis Loy, and then down to the likes of Mark Newnham, but not far off the bottom of that list there, Paul, as we mentioned, David Eustace on 31 at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So look, they've performed really well this season, so it'll be good. It'll be good to. It's always good to get the new blood coming into the training ranks, and obviously you've got a mixture of the old and the new, with John Size leading once again. And
you saw with that graphic, there's only, I think, 11 wins between sort of 3rd and about 10th on the premiership there.
It's been really competitive this year, that is for sure. We're going to continue the theme of James Cummings right now. A man that has written for James and knows him well is Hugh OBrien.
Yeah, we came out of left field a little bit, for me anyway, but yeah, many congratulations to him and his family for taking the opportunity, and many congratulations to the Hong Kong Jockey Club. I truly believe he'll be a huge asset to the forum here, and I'm looking forward to him starting when the time comes.
His name, Hugh, seems to carry so much forward, doesn't it? Of course, Cummings and the family have had so much great success in Australian racing down through the years. But as a trainer, what type of trainer is he to ride for? How does he sort of operate? I know he's done it under the Godolphin banner, but obviously he is a top-line trainer and very good at his craft.
Well, he's proven that, and he proved that prior to taking the role at Godolphin, which he's had for some 8 years. And, I think he had the right temperament and personality to carry that position forward, and he's proven that thought to be correct because he's done a very good job in that role over the years with training some amazing horses. Headline probably by Animo, but I don't want to single him out because there's many others as well. But look, James, as I said, he's a young man with a young family. Christine and I know them very well, have done for many years, and I remember when his ambitions of being a trainer began under the tutelage of his grandfather Bart Cummings many years ago. I don't know how long ago exactly, but look, he's worked his way up through the ladder. I know he's got the pedigree and the ambition to be where he's at, but it doesn't come without hard work and dedication, and he's provided himself every opportunity throughout the years to reach his potential and goals, and I think the opportunity to come here to Hong Kong will only expand what he's already achieved.
It's exciting times, but we do have to wait just a little bit because it's still a season and 9 meetings until James Cummings gets underway here in Hong Kong. That's been the first part of Racing to Win. We'll take a break and come back and preview race number 8 right after this. You are watching Racing to Win, the twice weekly preview show for racing in Hong Kong, and it is now time to focus and try and find a winner. And as always, out of the break pool, we start with your last run reminder. Here it is race 7, number 13.
Yes, it was Lakeshore Hero. Now, he went right all the way back from barrier number 10 last start. You can see him, he was actually the first out, but from that wide draw, he was restrained all the way and ended up at the back. Now, they didn't go quick. They went quite slow in the early stages. And you can see him there. He was sort of making his way through the field. Now, he was bumped halfway down the straight here as he came down. That was by Audacious Pursuit. But he got into the clear and balanced himself up and ended up running a close-up second. So under the circumstances, I thought it was a good run. He's down to a rating now of 47. So he did drop a rating point for this, and he was making the best ground late. I think it's quite a wide open field, the 7th too. So he'll get his chance.
Steps up to the 1400. Brenton Abdallah for David Hall. Lakeshore Hero race 7, number 13 is the last run reminder. It is time to preview race number 8. Class 2 over the 1200 metres. Raging Blizzard resumes and has a good first up record. Wider draw for bottom up together. Wunderbar is unbeaten second up. Gorgeous Win, 5-time course and distance winner. Tomodachi Kokoro has placed 2 from 5 track and distance. Call Me Glorious comes up into Class 2. On the back of that win last time down in grade, Musco's best form is on the all-weather. And WizKid, all 6 wins so far have been at 1,000 metres. He's trying to break through with that lightweight pull, but he's going to have to do it the tough way. Yeah, he is. He's just got that awkward draw, barrier number 7 for him. So as such, he might just be trapped a little bit wide. Call Me Glorious, he led all the way last time. Bottom up together can get outside him. Wunderbar will get his chance in the trail. Harmony Bless, another one that does like to go forward. Me Too, Must Go, I should say, not Me Too, Must Go down the back there. He's a horse that is better known on the all-weather, so I think he'll go back. He's one of 3 horses in the race trained by John Size, and this is what John had to say about the trio. John, we'll start with Wunderbar. Such a nice horse. Any reason for that last start performance come to hand?
Well, I think that, he's had a bit of time off, and maybe, he'd need the race to tidy him up and get him back in winning form. So he's done that, and hopefully he'll go on with it now.
You've given him a number of trials since then. Have you been happy with those trials?
Seems okay. He's always a reasonably lazy trialer. But he seems to be doing his job at the moment. He looks fit and well, and he's in a little bit better shape than last time, so hopefully he can get a nice run and run a better race.
Raging Blizzard in the race 2, off the scene since February. Any reason he's been away for those 4 months?
He put in a couple of runs that were below par after he won 2 races quite impressively, and he got to 104. So that might have been him for the moment. He might have needed a little bit of time to catch up to the handicapper and have a bit of a rest. So he's done that. He's come back and looked in good shape. His trials also have been reasonable, so he's there to run a good race.
He's won 6 from 15. It takes a special horse to do that sort of record in Hong Kong, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, he's been a lovely horse. I mean, he's by the successful horse as a sire here, Per Encanto. He's been amazing, but he's just another one of his crop that have, showed up very well in town. So he's a natural Hong Kong horse. He's got such a great temperament, and he's sound and healthy. So he's done well.
You've also got Must Go in the race. He's had not as much luck with the barriers as the other two have had.
No, but anyway, well, there'll be a bit of weather around, so the barriers will probably always important in Hong Kong, but maybe the track condition might be the overriding factor on Saturday.
He's come a long way this season too, Must Go, to get up to this grade. He's done a really good job for you also.
Yeah, well, look, he's strictly a dirt horse as far as winning's concerned, and that's where he's got his prize money. But he's run out of rating now. He's got to do something with himself. He can't just stay at home in the box. So we'll take him to the races and see what he can do on the turf.
That is John Size there. Tom, we'll start with, in racebook order, Raging Blizzard. First up, good time to catch him.
Yeah, it is. Look at his record. 3 starts for a win, a second and a third. So he's coming in off a 108 a day layoff. He was in that small field at Happy Valley last time out and probably wasn't suited there. They got quite strung out in the mid part of that race. But he's a horse that, with barrier number 2, fresh, lot to like about him.
Yeah, he's hard to leave out, isn't he? He's the class horse of the race at the moment. He's over this 100 rating at 104. I suppose the negative is the big weight he has to carry.
3 trials, they've looked good. What about Wunderbar, Paul? Where do you make him after a disappointing run first up?
He was a little bit, wasn't he? Look, he's going to go in the numbers, but just on a monoline, Wunderbar, because, look, he maps well. He'll be in a similar position than he will be in this race that you can see on screen now. He's in those light blue colours with the yellow cap. I think he'll get the trail from barrier number 1, sit behind the pace and get his opportunity. Let's see, he's got earplugs going on, so a small gear change there.
Of course, this race was won by bottom up, second to bottom up together here was the Frankie Law trained galloper, and you can see he just couldn't get past Lady's Choice in the straight here, and there was in this race a gap of 13 pounds difference between the first horse and the second horse. I still think he did a pretty good job bottom up together. I'm not sure about where Wunderbar's at the moment. He was in the trail, he was a bit keen. The run seemed to end before the 150 metres. I don't know if he's come back the same horse as he probably was 12 or 16 months ago, to be honest.
Before we get to bottom up together's trial, Tomodachi Kokoro, that was a good run from him. He's not strictly a 1,200-metre Happy Valley horse. No,
it's been a while since he's won now, though, 479 days, and he was at Happy Valley last time out as well, behind the speed. He came up 3 wide at the 500 metres and just probably peaked on his run there late behind Kaholo Angel, but that run there when he was over 100 to 1 in the market was an enormous run, really.
Yeah, really, really good run from him. And as you say, did heated for 3rd last time. And he wasn't too far away either, but I still do prefer him at Happy Valley.
Bottom up together, Paul. You've followed him plenty of times. This is a trial since that run we just saw. He wins the trial. It is Zach Pert and Frankie Law combining. Does have a wider draw this week, though.
He does. I think he can get across easy enough because the one thing that this horse has got is good gate speed. We've seen him lead over 1,000 metres in the past. 1,200 has shown that there's no problem for him whatsoever. If he does get outside the leader, effortless trial from him here when he did win. So, look, I think he can win this.
Yeah, got away in the straight, didn't he, in this barrier trial. Winning margin at the line was a length and 3/4. Zach was on board, seemed to move pretty well in that trial. Just last time out, had that 13-pound difference between him and Lady's Choice. So I definitely don't think he was disgraced. And you can see he's won 5 of 12 here in Hong Kong. He's won 2 of 9 this season, and it just has to shoulder that 1-3-3 here from a wide gate. But he's got that good gate speed, as Paul mentioned, and should be able to get across.
Zach never worse than second. 8 rides, 5 wins and 3 seconds on bottom up together. Tom, we head to Happy Valley right now. Here he is again, Tomodachi Kokoro, Harmony and Bless, Sonpak Fu and Gusto Sissimo. Would you prefer most of these at the Valley?
I would. Gusto Sissimo, of course, did win at Sha Tin 3 starts ago over Lady's Choice and did win that in Class 2 company by 3/4 of a length, but it was just a shade disappointing here. I think a few sort of things have gone against him, the way the races have been run in his last couple. And Harmony and Blessed, another one, Paul, that's a 7-time winner at Happy Valley, has won at Sha Tin, but he's in good form with a lightweight, but he is 3 pounds out of the handicap.
Yeah, he is. Of the two, I do prefer Gustosissimo from a better draw because he's going to get an economical run, I think, in this race as well. And he has won at Sha Tin, as you say.
Call me glorious, Paul. Here he is winning last time. He has raced in this grade previously, placed a couple of times from 5 starts, so it's not quite beyond him, but did enjoy a good lead this day.
He did, look, and they left him alone, and that was the winning of the race for him. He's got barrier number 8. Aaron came alongside him and couldn't quite get past him in the end. And Aaron was just the only fair last start as well. So, look, I'm happy to watch him coming back into this grade.
I'm going to give him a chance. He just on a minor line now, however, because he's in form. He'd been building to that win. Of course, he was second to Master My Universe 2 runs ago, and then was able to cling on here. Probably not going to get the same sort of setup in this race, but he's still some sort of a chance, I think.
Before we move on to the selections, Tom, David Hayes has 2 of the runners in the race. John Size has 5. And they are duelling for the Trainers' Premiership at the moment. John Size with a handy buffer at this stage.
Yeah, so he's got an 8-win lead at the moment. I think Saturday shapes up to be a crucial race for the Trainers' Championship the weekend. Both stables have got multiple horses engaged. Unfortunately, David has lost Solid Shala off the dirt. He was pretty keen on it, if it was going to be dry or if it was going to be wet, that he was going to handle it and run well. I think he needs to get at least 2 winners at the weekend, Paul, and John Size to get none. If he doesn't, I think it's curtains.
Well, yeah, look, even now it's so hard for him because if you see he's had 8 winners in the last 10 and he's 8 behind. And there's less than 10 meetings to go in the season. So even if he picks up 1 or 2 more and John Size have absolutely none, statistically it's going to be very hard for him to get past.
All right, that is still to be decided up to meeting 88, but John Size with the advantage at this stage. Can he pick a winner up in this race, Paul? Are you sticking with bottom up together to keep it as it is?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with bottom up together. I think he can get outside the leader there. So he goes on top to beat Gustosissimo with a lot better draw. The horse has got the really good fresh record, Raging Blizzard, and the other John Size runner, Wunderbar. So 2-7-1-3.
Going with the top weight here in the race, and that is Raging Blizzard first up. His trials have been good, and I think he's ready to go for a bold showing here for Brenton of Della and John Size. Bottom up together, I think they're the main 2. Call Me Glorious, and I'll throw in Wunderbar as well, but just wondering where he's at the moment. Hopefully he can relax better. Gear change this week as well. The earplugs are in. So 1, 2, 8 and 3.
And all of the races are on the website, previewed race by race at hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. Paul, your best bets.
Going to go with a horse I made long shot last time, and he did run second, a horse called Gentleman Legacy. It was a good price. You can see him down the outside. The stable's going very well at the moment, and he was 3 wide most of the way. He did have some cover down, but I just like the way he really stretched out when he stepped up over distance here. He was no match for the horse in front, which was Torbjorn Prince, who actually led all the way and set up some slow sectionals. So the race was full of merit. I think he can go one better on Saturday. And Aero Invincible, he's drawn 10. I think the key for him is to get across in the early stages, but in Class 4, that's the go for him. And we'll do the play and race, the first race, QP 1, 2 and 10.
Best bet comes up in the third race, Rainbow 7, who has put up 2 good showings so far. Francis Lloyd, Derek Long from a good gate. The value in the first race, the Griffins, winning champion. This is his debut. It had 2 trials leading into this run over the 1,200 metres. Was at the back and just had no luck here over the final stages. So we're certainly keen to see what he can do lining up at Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon in the first race. That is the Danny Shum trained galloper who was making good inroads towards the inside there. And the play, Silvery Breeze, Patch of Stars, Victory Sky.
The best bets, we're going. Race 6, number 9, Double Win. Barrier number 1 placed his first time over 1,800 metres. The value, race 10, number 10, Mojave Desert. Heap of speed in the second of the dirt races. And the play, race 6, QQP, Pinghai Comet, Ocean Impact and Double Win. That has just about been racing. The win time to pull up the diary, Tom, before we say bye-bye.
Yeah, we've got racing, of course, at Sha Tin next weekend. Of course, Royal Ascot during the week, Happy Valley the following week.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mark. It should be a good race meeting. Don't forget, 4 o'clock start on Saturday.
Paul said it. That's it for the first of 11. Bye-bye from Racing to Win.